Hey everybody, Ben Clark here from Queen City Clay, and today I wanted to put a nice fluid crease into a rounded pot for you. I like to work intuitively, and it's hard for me to leave just a clean symmetrical pot alone. So once you work to the point where you can make these rounded shapes pretty consistently, putting a deep crease in that adds all kinds of personality to the pot. So I want to take you through how I do that today. And know that if you stretch out this curve and make the pot taller and more narrow, or make a more squat, really ballooned out form, this crease looks so different. So really explore once you get this technique down. I've just thrown this pot, so it's wet, and I'm going to do most of my work right now, and then once it's soft leather hard, I'm going to do a lot of cleanup before this is ready to go in the bisque kiln. So at this point, I set it on a banding wheel, and I'm looking for a dowel rod like this, as long as you can make it, or if you don't have one of those, just a broom handle, anything like that. And I'm going to usually set these at an angle. With this pot, I want it when it's done to have a big enough crease that it almost looks like the top and the bottom are sliding away from each other. So I'm going to start on the shoulder up here and apply light pressure with the dowel rod and slowly spin until I get to the end, and then get up into that line a little bit so that I can track where I was moving again and start my up curve here. Again, get into that track a little bit so I can continue that same line, and then keep my eye on the portion of the line that is where I started, so that as I come around, I can hit right into that groove again. Okay, so now the dowel has given me that line all the way across the pot. And once I have that dent, I want to switch to my finger. Okay, so I am going to get this portion of my thumb right here, that nice side portion, and I'm slowly going to apply pressure into the pot with that, following the line I put in with my dowel. I got my left hand spinning the banding wheel so I can concentrate with my right hand on the crease. And as I go around more times, I just increase the pressure with each rotation. You don't want to get too aggressive too fast. But it's kind of fun to see how this thing changes as you do this. Now, you're going to see the character of your clay come out too when you do this, because some clays are going to start to break apart a little bit with pressure like this, which is why I like to work wet at the beginning. Some clays will stretch beautifully, but you can already see how the separation, that visual separation, occurs with that top piece wanting to almost migrate off of the pot there. Okay, so as I'm applying this pressure now, I'm going to flatten my thumb a little bit so that the pad of my thumb is pressing down on the shoulder of the groove. Okay, because this portion of your thumb does put a sharper crease into the pot, and you get to see the edges where the pot leaves the contact of your thumb. So as you press the pad down on that shoulder, you start to erase that line that shows where it no longer made contact with your thumb. And that just helps save some time with cleanup later. Okay, now you can get as aggressive with this as you want, take that way in if you want. With lots of clay bodies, you can get very aggressive to the point where you think there's no way this is going to hold up. This is actually going to slide off the top, but it will impress you. And so with this style, I want to remember that not only the pressure from the outside will make a difference, but pressure on the inside will too. So even if I want to put this back on the wheel and make a bottle later, I like to keep it open right now so that I can get my hand on the inside and increase the ballooning nature of the pot on the top and bottom of that line crease that I've put in. Okay, now you can use a rib, you could use a sponge, you could use your index finger from your first knuckle to your second knuckle, and you can even then highlight the creased line by using your index finger to push out with a line that mimics the nature of that crease, okay? Now you can go anywhere you want from this point, all right? More creases from the inside or outside. Keep denting further and further, and then changing the shape of the top once this sets up enough to handle more pressure up here and more torque from the texture of your skin as you neck this in. So this is super fun to play with. It's fluid and you can be intuitive with it, which is one of the things I love about clay. So try this out, see what you think, and have fun with it. And as always, if you get a chance and you make something like this and you're happy with it, or even if it's a total failure, still snap a shot of it and send it to us at info@queencityclay.com. All right? Thanks so much for watching, and have fun messing around with clay.